Esto es la Volvo Ocean Race, la historia de 45 años de obsesión, la mítica regata alrededor del mundo, el reto definitivo de navegación a vela por equipos, y el lugar donde el deporte de élite se une con la aventura humana. Alzarse con la victoria supondrá haber dominado una regata de 45.000 millas náuticas a lo largo de 11 etapas entre 12 puertos de 6 continentes. 7 equipos internacionales están intentando añadir su nombre al trofeo de la Volvo Ocean Race. La etapa 7 vio cómo Mapfre finalizaba quinto, su peor resultado hasta el momento. Esto, unido a la segunda posición de Dongfeng Race Team, provocaba que el equipo español cediera el liderato de la general en favor del chino, que ahora aventajaba por un punto a su archirrival en la lucha por el título. La victoria de etapa suponía para Team Brunel saltar de la sexta a la tercera posición en la provisional. Surgía una nueva lucha por el poder y a falta de 4 etapas para completar la vuelta al mundo, la regata estaba más abierta que nunca.
We have a problem in the boat because the boat shut down.
Tough situation for ourselves, having led for about the last week. All about speed for me. It's going to be tight.
You gonna make it or you gonna attack?
I think I'm gonna make it. Just going to have to keep the bow down and let it rip. We're not going to lay.
La etapa 7 fue uno de los pasos por el Océano Sur más brutales en la historia de la regata, pero por encima de todo será recordada por la devastadora pérdida del tripulante de Sun Hun Kai Scallywag, John Fisher, que cayó por la borda y tristemente nunca fue recuperado.
Once we got that news, unfortunately it was really hard for me personally, but for everybody on board to focus. You know, it was at the front of everybody's mind. You know, every time you clip in, you think about it. Every time the boat's careening down a wave, it's difficult. I mean, it's all anyone could think about.
I could feel the tension that these guys must have felt at that moment. You know, it's a raw panic that you have to put open everything in your capability to solve the situation and find your crewmate back.
To go and say to my guys, you know, the news is it was Fish that lost his life and they haven't found him and they stopped looking. People were quite reflective or kind of introverted for the day. They all needed their time and their space to deal with it. I had lots of correspondence on all the legs with Scallywag on email, so I knew I needed to send an email, but you don't really know what to say. So I just sent our team's condolences and sympathies. Woody came straight back. And he just said that, you know, he was his best mate and to make that decision to stop looking is the hardest thing he's ever had to do.
John Fisher permanecería en las mentes de todos los patrones y las tripulaciones durante el resto de la regata. La etapa 8 iba a ser la última de largo recorrido de esta edición. El Océano Sur quedaba atrás, pero por delante esperaban nuevos desafíos a medida que la flota iba hacia el norte.
First 8 to 9 days will be a big tactical game.
And then we turn left, just past Bermuda, and then you're in the hands of the weather gods.
Once you get north of the Gulf Stream, you know, cold water, cold seas, can be some pretty vicious storms.
And then just before you get into Newport, it's freezing. You get quite foggy conditions. It can be quite wet and windy and wild. So it's a crazy leg.
A lot of boats are going to be up there to win the leg, and for us from Mapfre, we have to step up again and put all the strength to try to win this leg.
There's still a lot to go for and to win and to earn. And I think every team will feel that tension and every team will fight to cope with it best.
It's about managing the pressure we have. Probably it's our best opportunity to win the race.
If you have a very good result in the next one, then all of a sudden the lead is really inside of grabbing.
We want nothing more than to win and do our home stopover.
Los preparativos previos a la salida en Itajaí fueron toda una carrera contrarreloj para Sun Hun Kai Scallywag y Vestas 11th Hour Racing, que se habían retirado de la etapa previa. Ambos equipos tenían que transportar y poner a punto sus barcos a tiempo para la siguiente etapa. Vestas 11th Hour Racing tenía que montar un nuevo aparejo después de perder el suyo en el Atlántico Sur.
It was no small feat to just get the boat here, you know, from the Falkland Islands on delivery with a jury rig, with the diesel tanks, with the charter flight, delivery crew, technicians. I mean, it's been, you know, an act of Congress, you know, just to get us to a point where we can start this leg on time. from a sailing team standpoint, we're very excited, for that to be the case. We're hungry to get back on the water.
Sun Junkai Scallywag solo disponía de 3 días para preparar su barco antes de la salida de la etapa 8, pero la familia de la Volvo Ocean Race hizo todo lo posible para asegurarse de que lo lograba. Para los de Davey Witt resultaba admirable, pero mucho más que por la presencia física tras el esfuerzo del equipo para conseguir estar en la salida, por la fuerza mental y la fortaleza demostradas por la tripulación de Scallywag.
The support we've had from, within the Volvo family has been amazing. I think, it takes a special people to do this race, whether you're the skipper or you're the crew, and I think the character of the people in this race has been amplified by the way we've been supported by other competitors in the last week. There's a whole lot of sort of an ethos that the Scallywags try and live by. We never give up, we look after each other. We don't have to be the best, but we do it together, and probably the most important moral of our team is loyalty, and obviously I've had a lot of time to think about it in the last 10 days, but I'm pretty much describing John Fisher. If he was standing behind me right now, he'd be telling me to harden up, don't be soft and get on with it, and that's what we're going to do on Sunday.
El día de la salida dejaba imágenes emotivas de todos los equipos a medida que se dirigían al comienzo de la etapa. Despedidas conmovedoras, momento de reflexión.
First time I'm ever going to start a yacht race in 12 years without Fish, so keep looking around seeing where he is and remind myself he's not here, but we got his logo on the mainsail and on the boat and on our shirts, and he's with us. I'm sure he will do all he can from where he is up there to help us get a good result in this leg.
Todas las tripulaciones afrontan con positividad el reto de seguir participando en uno de los deportes de equipo más duros del mundo.
5,700 nautical miles from Itajaí in Brazil to Newport, Rhode Island. It's go for the entire fleet.
Ready and falling.
Brunel coming in hot on starboard. Look how close it is.
La flota navegará rumbo norte a lo largo de 5.700 millas a través del Océano Atlántico y cruzando el Ecuador por última vez, negociando los siempre complicados doldrums antes de dirigirse a la línea de llegada en la meca de la vela de Estados Unidos, Newport, Rhode Island. Todos los barcos se dirigirían al este desde la costa de Brasil hacia unas condiciones meteorológicas difíciles e impredecibles que no tardarían en poner a prueba la habilidad de los regatistas. A lo largo de las primeras 24 horas se producirían múltiples cambios en cabeza, pero pronto iba a ser el líder de la provisional, el chino Dongfeng Race Team, el que marcaba el ritmo al frente de la flota.
Everyone else is back there, so I don't mind if it's upwind as long as everyone's behind us.
We have Dongfeng just in our bow 1.5 miles away, and then we have the rest of the fleet 2 miles or more than 2 miles behind us, so we are quite happy. The speed of the boat is key in these kind of legs, because all the boats we are close to each other and you want to game meter by meter. We have to keep focused if we want to win this leg.
A medida que la flota zigzagueaba hacia el noreste, la etapa dejaba claro que iba a ser cuestión de pequeñas ganancias, pero con la combinación de una brisa en constante cambio y activos sistemas nubosos, no tardaría en convertirse en un enorme reto de estrategia.
Quite a lot of cloud activity, so obviously the clouds are sucking and blowing, so when you're on the edges of them, the wind's doing very different things, so it's really up and down. Kind of position yourself for the clouds to try and get the best out of them.
Well, the difficulties of tonight are basically right on the crossover between two of our sails. One is the masthead zero, and then to the J1, which is more of your normal type of jib. The problem is we've been sailing in and out of the crossover all sort of afternoon and into this evening, and the problem with that is if you take the time to do the change from one sail to the other, you need to evaluate how much you're going to lose doing the change versus how much you're going to gain.
Mientras la flota se aproximaba a una zona de exclusión de un campo petrolífero a 100 millas de la costa de Río de Janeiro, se ponían en cabeza Charles de Tidon Plastic y Vestas 11th Hour Racing, los dos barcos más al este.
Axo was 193.19, Brunel 189, just under 20. We had some big clouds yesterday, and most of the fleet ended up on the left of the cloud. We sort of got ourselves positioned to the right of the cloud. Actually, Dongfeng got to the right, but we just pushed on a bit further together with Turn the Tide. And the boats on the left hit worse current, and then had to tack off a bad shift to clear the exclusion zone, which has allowed us and Turn the Tide to sort of slip through ahead.
I think we're winning at the moment, so that's pretty cool. We've got Vestas about 5 miles behind us there. We've got Dongfeng we can see about 8 miles directly downwind of us.
Di Cafari y su equipo demostraron en la anterior etapa que habían madurado para convertirse en una fuerza a tener en cuenta después de batir a Mapfre, uno de los favoritos. Entre los 7 equipos participantes, Charles Taydon Plastic cuenta con la tripulación con menos experiencia oceánica, y cuando Cafari reclutó a su equipo necesitaba algunas figuras clave para apoyarla. Liz Worley fue su primer fichaje y gracias a la experiencia acumulada en las 2 últimas campañas, Worley se ha demostrado fundamental en la manera de operar del equipo.
There isn't anybody that knows these boats better, every inch of these boats, and there isn't anybody that, no matter what the conditions, will always fix whatever's broken. And she also has it in her, the drive all the time to send it at 100%.
It's the closest racing you can find in offshore sailing, and it's extreme, it's relentless, the competition's fierce, and it's pretty much everything that I love. I guess being the boat captain, you're kind of responsible for keeping it all together, really. And I guess one of the benefits we had when we started up our team is that I knew the boat so well, so that the guys that were coming into the team could concentrate on learning how to race the boat as opposed to learning how to maintain the boat. So I think that was a big plus for us.
She's very confident in all weather conditions and has pretty much seen and done everything, so nothing really phases her. And that's really important for me, having a young crew, to see that kind of confidence in somebody. So that was really important for me to have that, so that they could grow up thinking everything was okay and it would be fine, and they develop the similar skills.
I guess you're just trying to pass on experience and bridge the experience gap that some of our guys had, but at the same time I think they've taught us a lot as well.
Durante los 2 días siguientes, Charles Taydon Plastic y Vestas 11th Hour Racing se alternarían en el liderato, pero ya no estaban solos. Su duelo no tardaría en convertirse en una batalla a 4 con la rápida aproximación de Tim Brunel y Dongfeng Race Team.
It's been a pretty interesting last 12 hours, really. We started off quite a long way behind Vestas, and then following them, slowly gaining. We should be right behind them.
Dongfeng's just jibed, so we're going to match just to sort of cover our a little bit. Head into the coast, just over here. Just try and stay on the inside of them. Just protect our position at the moment. 1, 2, back.
We're nearing the top eastern corner of Brazil. This sort of next few days we need to make a call how close we stay to the coast and how much driving we do around the corner, or whether we just go straight after the corner. Deciding that is then what sets you up going further north.
Durante buena parte de las 7 etapas previas, Dongfeng Race Team se acostumbró a estar a la vista de su archirrival del Mapfre. Los 2 equipos solían navegar juntos y cubrir cada movimiento del otro, pero una semana después del inicio de esta etapa 8, el equipo español avanzaba en 6ª posición y con problemas.
We have a problem in the boat because the boat shut down completely.
Estos 2 cables, pero manteniéndolos conectados. Esos 2.
Main fuses blew away and a couple more as well. And then consequence of that was a few instruments just broke and a few more things, but right now the bigger problem we're trying to solve is we cannot control the keel, not with the electric or the main engine, so I don't know, we try to make some bridges and try to open the valves manually and see if it works.
El movimiento de la quilla es esencial para navegar el barco con eficiencia, por lo que la tripulación se vio obligada a realizar un interruptor de derivación, pero que tenía que ser operado manualmente bajo cubierta. Para el Mapfre iba a suponer una seria desventaja en esta importante etapa. A medida que la flota de la Volvo Ocean Race cruzaba el Ecuador hacia el hemisferio norte por última vez en esta regata, la temperatura del mar comenzaba a subir y con ello surgía una nueva amenaza para los barcos: los sargazos.
For us, it's a real problem because it gets stuck in all our foils. It gets stuck in the rudder and the keel, on the dagger boards when we're using them, and sometimes it gets such a big clump that you can't even steer the boat. We end up wiping out. It's a problem we're going to end up dealing with for another couple days. I guess the whole fleet's going to have to deal with it, so it's just part of racing in this part of the world.
Todos los participantes eran conscientes de que los alisios del noreste iban a resultar fundamentales para el éxito en esta etapa. Tim Brunel era el primero en beneficiarse de la nueva brisa y se ponía al frente de la carga.
We've got Dongfeng and Vestas and turn the tide close behind us, so we're trying to get every mile that we can ahead of them. Just trying to keep the boat going as fast as possible, so every 2 hours we put a new driver on. We're constantly monitoring the performance data, so if anybody's doing something incorrectly, we know to make a change the driver or the trim or the setup to to kind of get the performance going at its optimum at all times.
Mientras Tim Brunel seguía ganando terreno, Turn the Tide on Plastic caía a la cuarta posición. Un duro trago después del magnífico rendimiento mostrado en el comienzo de la etapa.
The first four boats are all within 35 miles of each other, so the pressure's on. We've just lost our podium spot and we're in fourth place again, so we're a bit frustrated, but we've got time and we are determined.
A estas alturas, el Sun Hunkai Scallywag navegaba último a más de 200 millas de los líderes, pero avanzaban firmes.
As much as a realist I am, and I think it's going to be hard for us to really overtake someone, I think we'll get back in touch with the fleet. You can really never say never.
Los Scallywags son una tripulación firmemente unida, con valores sencillos. Antonio Fontes se había incorporado como miembro del equipo de tierra, pero pronto empezaría a competir en el mar. Todo un sueño para el regatista portugués.
It's very nice to be part of this Scallywag group. It's kind of a different team. We are all kind of the same level, like trying to learn with each other along the way and making the most out of the experience and not trying to be better than anyone else on board, just to beat the other boats, but not inside the boat. So yeah, I think it's a good environment that David Witt created. Professional sailing in Portugal is very small, and obviously I have been fighting to be here for a long time, but I hope this time around with me and the other two Portuguese and Turn the Tide on Plastic, I think we will inspire a future generation to have more professional sailors in Portugal and more offshore sailors as well.
A medida que los equipos avanzaban millas hacia el norte, las posiciones se mantendrían sin cambios durante días, pero con la bajada de la fuerza del viento, la flota comenzaba a comprimirse. La ventaja de Tim Brunel al frente del pelotón descendía por horas y los barcos en cabeza recibían una amenaza inesperada.
Donfen Racing Team, bearing 40, range 11 miles. Mafre is us. Third.
We are only 10 miles behind Brunel and 3 miles behind Donfen. This opens a little bit the game again for us, and anything can happen. 24 hours ago we were 5th and suddenly we're here on the fight.
Mafre había realizado una impresionante remontada, superando tanto a Vestas y Leventhauer Racing como a Turn the Tide on Plastic en la aproximación a la línea de llegada en Newport, Rhode Island. Su archirrival Donphan Race Team también mostraba su fuerza y conseguía adelantar a Brunel.
Bit of a tough situation, I suppose, for ourselves, having led for about the last week, going into a big compression here, which we always kind of knew was going to happen at the end of the race. Everyone's super close, and it seems like the boats behind are just slowly gaining.
We think we can win. Regarding what is ahead of us, we know it can be easy if the winds stay. It can be a big mess and a big change of in the ranking if the wind drop and you have gust everywhere. It's in the night, fog, so we cannot see a lot.
Tim Brunel no se daba por vencido. Durante más de una hora, en una brisa suave e inestable, los dos barcos se intercambiaron la primera y la segunda posición, y con Mafre de nuevo en la partida, la batalla por la victoria final se abría a los tres barcos, separados ahora por apenas un par de millas y avanzando hacia la meta con un surrealista enfrentamiento a cámara lenta en mitad de la niebla costera.
The last 2 hours have been very close, very light racing against Dongfeng and Mafre. We managed to get the better breeze and squeeze out ahead. Now we're close to the finish, I think.
La tensión para el equipo chino era insoportable al ver cómo Tim Brunel se escapaba cuando la ausencia de viento y la marea en contra imposibilitaban su avance. Y las cosas no harían más que empeorar para ellos. El Mafre saltaba a la segunda posición a falta de solo 2 millas para la llegada. Mientras Brunel se acercaba a la línea de meta, Mafre recortaba distancias constante e implacablemente. Tras 5.700 millas, la victoria iba a decidirse en la propia línea de meta, donde apenas unos metros separaban ambos barcos en un final tortuoso para las tripulaciones que intentaban avanzar sin viento. Justo una milla por detrás se producía otro duelo. Donphan Race Team, que había llegado a liderar en la aproximación a Newport, acababa de caer a la cuarta posición, algo impensable para el líder de la general.
We were first, and now we are fourth, behind Vestas. That is third, Mafre second, and Brunel first. But nothing is Nothing is done. Nothing is done.
En la última baliza de paso se despejaba la incógnita en la batalla entre Mafre y Tim Brunel.
Gonna be tight.
Keep accelerating. All about build from here. Yes. I'm coming forward up a bit now, okay?
Only chance we got is to get him on starboard.
You gonna make it or you gonna attack? I think I'm gonna make it.
Mafre acababa de completar una impresionante remontada. A 300 millas de Newport eran quintos y ahora avanzaban lentamente por delante del equipo de Bowe Bekin en los últimos cientos de metros.
Stand by, attacking here. Go!
Un solo minuto los separaría después de 16 días de competición. La tripulación española apenas podía creérselo cuando lograban la victoria. La segunda posición del equipo holandés, aunque respetable, era difícil de digerir después de haber liderado durante la mayor parte de la semana previa.
The last 24 hours has been just fighting every meter, every boat length, every wave, and you know, we've been this morning in position of not only catching up Dongfeng, which was our goal, but catching Brunel as well in the last meters and win the leg. So couldn't go any better for us, and we are super happy.
Yeah, result is maybe not what we had hoped for, but yeah, second place, and especially if you get past in the last 0.3 of a mile before the finish, that's really sour. But sailing can be sometimes really cruel. Of course, gutted right now, feeling, but that's how it goes.
El siguiente en surgir de la niebla, tercero, fue una agradable visión para los locales en el Race Village de Fort Adams. Vestas 11th Hour Racing conseguía anotar sus primeros puntos en las últimas 5 etapas.
You know, when we sail pretty well, so it's nice to score some points in 2018, certainly, and get a podium here into our hometown. So yeah, a lot of emotion, but all good at this stage.
La cuarta posición lograda por Dongfeng Race Team fue el parapalo más duro para Charles Caudrelier y su equipo chino.
Honestly, when we were 2.5 miles ahead of Brunel, at 18 miles of the finishing line, we were starting to dream about the best, but we knew it would be complicated to finish, but not as much as it has been.
El sufrimiento no había terminado aún para los 3 barcos que seguían en regata. Quinto iba a finalizar Team AkzoNobel, que pasaba a Targeted Plastic a la vista de la meta. Di Cafari no disimulaba su decepción. Su equipo había llegado a liderar durante varias jornadas para sucumbir solo en el último capítulo de esta etapa. Pese a realizar enormes progresos en las 24 horas finales, Sun Junkai y Scallywag se quedaba literalmente sin tiempo para mejorar la última posición, aunque su patrón David Witt se mostraba positivo.
The last thing really that's important for us was the result. It was very important for us to get back in the race after the tragedy and all stay together. And you know, I think we probably sailed the best we have in the whole race and got the worst result, but we're glad to be back in the race.
La sorprendente victoria de etapa de Mafre supone para el equipo español recuperar el liderato provisional y aventajar a Dongfeng Race Team por 3 puntos en la general. Tim Brunel continúa tercero. Llegaba la hora de un merecido descanso para las tripulaciones en Newport, Rhode Island, antes de afrontar la etapa 9. El próximo capítulo llevará a la flota de regreso a Europa. Un sprint transatlántico de 3.300 millas náuticas hasta el puerto galés de Cardiff. Será la última etapa de doble puntuación en esta edición, lo que podría suponer un momento decisivo para las aspiraciones de varios equipos.